Morphogenesis is the system where the way shapes are growing from very simple things to more complex. That's my point of view of these patterns. So you have already seen a lot of different methodologies to analyze patterns. It's very interesting to compare the methodologies because for some examples, one point of view is the best, but for some other examples, the same point of view is not so much adapted. But I insist on the fact that we can have a lot of different point of view on these patterns. So for just an example just for the fun. Here, recently I was working on dual patterns. So dual. I starting for the triangular pattern, very simple. Now I construct the dual, which is this one's the hexagonal pattern. Okay, and the dual of the dual, it's the first pattern. Okay, now we can have, if I consider the mixed pattern with the two together, I can continue and have and go to the dual of this new pattern. And I got this. And this is a pattern you can see everywhere. You can see here in Istanbul, in many places. So I could continue. Well, I can start for another semi-regular pattern. Okay, the dual construction. Does everybody know what is the dual of a pattern? You start from a pattern and you change. What the faces become a vertex. And I took one vertex on each face and I realized the vertex together. So now that's what I got. I can continue to get the dual of the intersection of the two patterns. What I got is this. Okay. Now I see here I have a square. If I have a square, maybe I could have an octagon. Why not? And now I see that a funny thing is that here I can have exactly two squares that fit together. So now here I can have another octagon, and everything fit together. But what is two square? Two square can be put together in this way. And this is a traditional shape, very common in the Zelig techniques, for example. So now I have to finish the pattern. The line have to continue like that, maybe like that. Or here I could have, why not having the same blue shapes here? So I'm getting that. And that is a very famous pattern you can see everywhere. It's the basis octagonal pattern. So, but I got it like this. But can I say the story of this pattern come to a dual process? In fact, no. It's not. It works, but it definitely not. It's not the good way to see to analyze that pattern. So sometimes a point of view works very well. Sometimes it's not the best. So yes. Okay, I just have to watch the time. This is my clock. It's a quasi clock, but she goes very slowly. It's a quasi time. Now, now I'm talking about first the octagonal system. A quick point of view. An example, a famous example, it's this one is in Andalusian style, in the Alhambra, but the method works for anyone. So this is a main pattern, this one. So I take it, and I want to, first to analyze. Okay, to analyze, I have analyze it's making kind of surgery, you know. I have to find the symmetry, then to cut, etc. And then this I cannot reduce, so I have to search a geometric construction that works, and maybe I can find something that works. Okay, that's the first point of view. Another point of view is the point of view of symmetry groups. That I want to know what is the way to fill the space from that shape. And it's a symmetry group. And when, okay, and then what I have to do now just to, to understand, to search the correct, the symmetry groups in so it's not this one, because this is a rectangular. I'm searching for a system with a square. Here I have a square, but only rotation. I need more symmetry. Okay, it's this one. So what can I do now? Just take the pattern and put it in his box. So, okay. But can I use that to do something new? No. So, my point of view, it's not surgery, it's just talking with the star. When I'm in front of that star, so we're talking together. And at some point, I ask to the star, where do you come from? And the star say, so first she undress, and she say, because we always have to go to the simplest pattern, and she said, I was born from a dance, the dance of 8 little stars. Okay, little star, very nice little star. Again, where do you come from? And that star can tell me her story. She was born in a garden, and etc., etc. I don't. I stop it now. And maybe I start with a little movie to have an idea of my point of view. So the point of view is morphogenesis. I searching for the simplest figure, simplest pattern, and to make a reconstruction of the story. Maybe have it. Yes, here. Okay, it's an old movie. Sorry for the one here who have already seen that. Maybe no. Maybe better to do in another way. Okay, that's one. Come on. It's going fast. No sound? Sorry, there is a nice music, but yes, okay. So, see, I'm starting with the simplest shape. Then I use very simple transformations, and the story goes on. With sometime I have, okay. Now I change the symmetry in order to go to the 16th folded star. And now, what I do is it's not something new. It's something that the craftsmen, the artists of the Alhambra Palace, for example, it's something they had in mind. This process that today, nowadays, we say it's a fractal process, but the artist had this process in mind, and they have written the information on the wall at the Alhambra of Granada. We go into the detail of the detail of the detail, like a fractal process. And it's a never-ending story. Okay. Now go back. Same story, but we are going back to the origin. Okay, so now so you see simple shapes and very simple transformation. No calculus, no compass, nothing. Just simple transformation. It's a story like the story you talked to children, because children, they like repetition. So that's the first shape. You just repeat the shape, and I get this famous star and cross pattern that everybody knows very well here. Now, simple transformation. This could be a square. Why not? So I get another shape here. Now I have 1, 2, 3 shapes. Now I could have, this is big, too big. I could fill with something. With what? With a star. Okay, with a star. Or a cross. Then here, why not having a star? Okay. Now look at this, two square, that, and the line is forced to change here. The line are not very happy because this line want to go here, that line want to go here. Okay, they can meet like this. But now, this line is happy, but that line is not happy. So they want to go, the line want to go on. So, and he will reach the other line here. So the solution is that. It's nothing, you just follow the line and you get it. Now, variation, maybe I could have, yes, here, why not having the same shapes that it is called shaft? So, I'm getting here a flower, with octagonal flower, and that's the first one of the basic pattern on the octagonal system. Now what? Yes, maybe. Sorry. Yes. Now look at that. The main shapes are the star and that shape, blue shapes called shaft. Why is this important? Because of that. They can run together, dance, draw. Oh, mass. Excuse me. Very bad. Very bad. Again. Very bad. Okay. Okay. Okay, can work. Now, never mind. Okay. That's a story. This can draw a closed line, closed structure, and this I call a skeleton. And from the skeleton, I can get not one pattern, but many different patterns. We just have let the line running, and the line draws the pattern. Yeah, it's a very easy way. Everybody can do that. But now we can have some variations with the same skeleton. I can have the different solutions. This is a standard solution. Another one standard. Another one, but here we have some strange shapes. Okay, and the funny thing is that the skeleton can grow. So now here I get a new skeleton, and the process continue. It's just drawing. That's one solution. That's another one solution, and another one. And here you can. It's easy to recognize the skeleton. Look at here. It's a variation from the skeleton, so you can. The skeleton is not obvious. It's like a hidden skeleton. Another solution with the 16th fold star. Another solution, and etc. etc. The skeleton can grow, and we go to new variations. Okay, and you see that in this process, I start from just one shapes, and then with simple transformation, I'm getting new shapes, new shapes, new shapes. The shapes are falling down like that. Okay, and here I have the main shapes. So, where is mathematics here? The mathematics is very simple. It's very simple geometry. If you can draw that star, you can draw any tiles, because that star is like the mother. It's a mother of every different tiles. For example, this one here is very easy. You can recognize that it's made from the octagon. Here it's not so obvious, but it is. Here it's not so obvious, but okay, the tile is inside, and etc. 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 Okay, so that's the main family of this octagonal system. Now, how can we draw that? Do we need a compass and that kind of thing, or computer? No, first it can be just by hand. That's the way I draw this pattern. Just draft paper, pencil, and eraser. No, no strand edge. No, it's forbidden. Just freehand. And it's really amazing. It's a pleasure to draw this way, with kind of improvisation. And where are the mathematics? The mathematics are here. When you are drawing, you're searching for something new, because you have some hypothesis, and you can to go ahead with this hypothesis, and sometimes you. There is a problem, and you have to solve the problem. That feel like mathematics. It's very simple geometry, but the way you use this geometry is where you meet mathematics. Okay. okay, here I am drawing for a new pattern, but you can use these techniques to take note of some pattern you see in the street when you are traveling. You see a pattern. It's very easy to take the information, because you don't have to draw the whole pattern, just the skeleton. And here, what you see here, it's a skeleton. Yeah, I use a kind of approximation to draw just only the skeleton here. Yes, here it's a fountain. I draw just the skeleton, freehand. I take note of some information and it's okay. Here, same thing, it's another fountain. I have all the information here. And this was above the fountain. It's a structure of Mukarnas, and for the Mukarnas, it's exactly the same as the same system. But we are not going to talk so much of Mukarna now. Go back. Never mind. Okay. I can talk more about this these drawing techniques, because I use an approximation. The drawing you get, it's not exact, but we don't mind, because we keep control of every component of the pattern. But okay, another time. Now, yes, we can also use computer, of course, but it's always the same. It's drawing by hand. Then I can use computer because it's very easy. Now I can do things like that with computer. It's very nice, very pleasant. So, oops, another one. Okay, maybe another one like that. I have to rotate it. Now, maybe another one, rotation like that. It fits perfectly, and okay. Now, one tile is missing. Which one? Okay, maybe that one. Just have to turn it like this. Okay, it fits perfectly. Now, one is missing. Which one? Maybe okay, that one. I call this shape the moon because it's quite round. Okay, good. Now I have the elementary triangle. Now I can use symmetry, of course, symmetry. Now, colors. Alors, something funny with colors. You see, if I draw colors like that, in the distance I will say, oh, this is a pattern made with a square. Okay, but look, if I do that, maybe that, what I see is a pattern made of square. I'm very bad. I will have this is in black. If you have this in black, you see what you see is a square, but a square rotated in 45 degrees. So the color can really change the perception of the pattern. Now, where is this? Okay, now I can use interlaces. So interlaces are just embellishment. When you see a pattern, just if there is interlace, you just have first to get rid of the interlaces. So interlaces are white, but sometimes they can be in color. And that kind of pattern puzzles your mind. This is a simple pattern, but when it's for complex pattern, it's very strange. Now, look at something. what I can do is a decoration, is not a decoration, but I put tiles into the interlaces. So for this, I need this distance to be set up very precisely. The funny thing is that inside, I can have the same thing. Inside, I can fit with the original tiles, but in a smaller scale. So, of course, now I can continue. I can continue. For example, I can see where, if I look here, yeah, that's another layer, and etc., 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 etc. And that's something that is written on the wall of the Alhambra. And Emil Markovic, he knows very well this thing. Now, what time is it? I have, wait.
10 minutes.
Oh, la, 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 la. That's very bad, very bad, very bad.
Don't worry.
Just one thing with skeleton. Skeleton are lines like that, like that, like that, like that. And when a nice thing happened when I was working with skeleton years and years and years before, in the last 80th item of. I was thinking, oh, it will be nice to have a kind of grid to help for drawing skeletons. And the grid happened that is the grid. And because that time I knew the penroll styling, I said, oh, this looks like penroll styling, but not octagonal, not pentagonal, but octagonal. And I could find out that it can be considered that like part of non-periodic pattern. Okay. And that's the way to make it. It's an inflation process. Huh? Top, 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 top. It goes like it's an infinite process. It goes like that. Okay. And the funny thing also is that you can find the same thing with Mukarnas. But we are not going to talk about Mukarnas now. Okay. That's all for octagonal. I would like to have time to talk about the pentagonal system. Okay, pentagonal. Okay, pentagonal, that's a way to go from simple shapes, pentagon, to this famous tenfold pattern, the very famous, you can find it everywhere. Or another way that is quite similar, maybe I have to do proper to go here. Yes, that one. Look at. It's going fine. First, I open the space of the golden number. Everything in that space goes with the 5. And in this space, you have some creatures that are stars, five-folded stars of 5. And that kind of stars, what they like to do is just to dance together, and and they hold hands. And when they hold hands, so that's the way we get that shape. So I'm not coming from pentagon, but directly from stars. And now I'm getting that famous shapes. That's the basis for the pentagonal fold, for the famous tenfold pattern. You can find it everywhere. But of course, if you want to fill the space with that, you have to lose some symmetry. Hop. They can fit together like that, so that is something that can be repeated. So I can have a repetitive pattern. But there is a hole inside, just let the line running, and I got my pattern. just have to repeat it now, to repeat. Okay, and that's a very famous tenfold pattern you can find everywhere in the Islamic world. Okay, but you can say, oh, it's very boring because it's always the same. But finally, what do you have? But it's nothing but just a rectangle. Okay, it's a rectangle, but with top, a rectangular in which the top and the bottom are the same. So I can fold it to have for them be together. And the right and the left have to be the same, like that. So what does it mean? It means that the topology of an infinite repetitive pattern is the same topology that the surface, the finite surface of a torus. So that's funny thing. Okay, now I'm just changing my point of view. Instead of looking at rectangles, I can say, this pattern is made not of rectangle, but it's made with rhombus. And the funny thing with rhombus is that I can do something new with a new arrangement. So here come that shape, that new shapes, a new rhombus. So let the line running and they meet together, and now I have two rhombus. Of course, they are similar to Penrose tiling. And now, with that, I can go to another kind of symmetry, something that are not repetitive eventually, possibly. Okay, just have to close the space now. Merde. To close the space. Okay. Yes. I come back. Now, here what I wanted to do is to say that there is always a lot of different point of view to analyze that kind of patterns. So, at some point we have a lot of publication about analyzing that kind of patterns. So, I chose to start with the above two patterns. The first pattern is the famous blue tomb of Mahraga. I chose this one because it was already studied by Emil Makovici in 1992, and his work, have been stolen by Lou and Stanhart, who published in 2007. And that one is from Turkey, Karata Madrasa, have been studied by Peter Cromwell, he's here. And believe me, I was I chose these two only because they are famous. And my challenge was to find another way to analyze, another way in the style of morphogenesis. Can I find a process that goes from very simple shapes to more complex shapes, and to get this and that? So, first thing, I start for this one. And here, what I want to say is that I consider not part of the pattern, but the whole pattern with his symmetry axis here. Okay, the whole pattern. Now, this one. First, simplification. Start to simplify. First simplification, I use the symmetry. Consider just this part. Now, when I look here, somewhere, okay, I see that here we have tenfold stars, here. And you see that I can perfectly get rid of what is inside. And I got just a simplest pattern. So, understand this? I consider this just like decoration. I perfectly can get rid of that, and the structure stays the same. And here, I have tenfold star. Again, I say this can be considered just like variations, because here I could have that, just here the same star. And now I cannot change anything more. That's the simplest, that's the last simplification of this pattern. So now what I look at here is if I follow the symmetry axis, I get a rhombus. So at that point comes the idea that this pattern can be made from that rhombus, in that way. Just repeat it. Repetition, but repetition is not enough. There is missing place here. So what I need is another rhombus to fill here, another one. So my idea is I have to find a way to get this thin rhombus, and after that I will find the complementary one. So that's the machine, that's the thing. That's starting point. Start with this tenfold star reference. Now, symmetrization. And I get my first rhombus. Very easy. Very simple rhombus. What can I do with that? It looks very simple, yes. Now, I continue, and I say, okay, I can have a symmetry axis here. Well, now I have to put something inside. So I can have a pentagon, another pentagon, okay, interlocking pentagons, and I get here a new tiles, and that's my rhombus number 2. I continue. Here I can have a new symmetry axis here. Okay. Then I got here a new tiles, and that's my rhombus number 3. Now I can have here a new symmetry axis and rhombus number 4, and with possible decoration here, why not? Then again rhombus number 4, and that's my morphogenesis, rhombus morphogenesis. And of course here I have to have a problem here, but okay, I can have that thing. So now I have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can. I have to find out. I have to find out the complementary rhombus. Okay. With my rhombus number 1, I can do that. Just let the line run. It's okay. I have my first couple. Very simple, but you will see. Now, same with the second, same with the third, same thing with the 5. Okay. So I have that. Now what can I do with that? Maybe, okay. I cannot do that because the edges are not symmetric. I cannot do that, but I can do that. If I do that, I have a hexagon. I can fill the space in a periodic way with hexagon. With the same hexagon, I can fill it in a radial way. Okay, new things. And I can also use the both. And this starts to be very interesting because I can go to quasi-crystal, but I don't want quasi-crystal. I want a repetitive pattern that could be maybe like that. Okay? Yes, so that can be a repetitive pattern made from that rhombus. Now what I can start playing with the decoration. And why not to put here a tenfolded star, same here. And you can remember the Karatai pattern. This is the Karatai pattern. Now, the funny thing is that if I continue, or if I take this part, just that part, start playing with decoration. Why not that? Why not that? Now let me extend a little bit here, extend a little bit after the symmetry axis. And why? Imagine this is this can be columns. So what's that? That's the Marga pattern, exactly the Marga pattern. So finally, both are the same. Can I just one thing?
Okay, one thing.
One thing, okay. One thing. Merde. Just to show the relationship between different patterns. I can start from rhombus to another combination of rhombus. Then the decoration comes from my first stage of morphogenesis. From this, with another decoration, I come back to another family. Here I can analyze with polygonal system. And then I come back to Turkish style. Then I can go to Moroccan style, etc., etc. Here you have very different point of view for not one pattern, but a family of patterns. Okay, that's all. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Finish.
No, no.